Next chapter? Next chapter. Blood is thicker than water. Oh, and I apologize for the week break. Vacation, some stuff. You know the drill. Sonic woke up as the morning sun's rays hit his face. He stretched to try to sit up, but found he couldn't. Two slender arms were holding him securely about his chest. He smiled and lifted up the arms to where Sally lay sleeping beside him. He moved his arms around her and settled back down. Sally smiled in her sleep and snuggled down into his chest. It had been a month since he had started sleeping in his hut and in his bed. Sonic knew more than he'd gotten the best sleep in the sense of coop while in her arms. He was more than content to leave it at that, but had the feelings he wasn't. Okay, again, this is total bullshit. Look, here's the truth. Both a man and a woman have certain sexual needs. Both of them crave similar desires. A guy likes to have his pleasure. A woman likes to have pleasure. There's no such thing as suddenly this woman wanting it more than a guy, or a guy wanting it more than a woman. It's not always going to be this way. And quite frankly, I find it a little insulting that the authors are trying to say that, oh, Sonic is so pure and chaste. But Sally, ooh, it's got this sort of icky thing about it that I can't quite describe. It just feels wrong to try to say only Sally wants it. I guess it's the same kind of thing that sometimes annoys me when I watch a harem anime, and we see the guy going, "Oh my gosh, all these beautiful, lovely women want me? What do I do?" Like, I can accept it when it's once, like say with Tenchi, but not everybody's like Tenchi, you know. But then again, Tenchi's a nice guy. Some people are more like Moroku. And I don't see this idea of where Sonic is suddenly going to be pure and chaste is coming from. But I will also point this out. If a naked woman had been sleeping with me in the same bed for a month, yeah, I'd be looking for some fresh new condoms and trying to look for some birth control pills because guess what? I wouldn't be able to control myself. Sally stirred as these thoughts were in Sonic's mind. She opened her eyes and looked at his face. "Morning, Sonic," she murmured sleepily. "Morning, Sal," he said, kissing her forehead. "Sleep well?" "Like a baby," she answered. "Though I could have slept better if—" "We've been through this, Sal," Sonic said, cutting her off. "I know. But did you think I was going to stop trying? Oh, for Pete's sake." You know, it was this type of scenes that annoyed me when I first read this fic. It's still... It isn't as bad now. But when I was a kid, when I was younger and more chaste... Stop laughing. I used to be chaste, okay? Really. I used to be way more of a prude than I am now, okay? Honest, I really was. But, just, no. I still think Sonic should be in this position. I mean, on the other hand, I don't mind that we're seeing more of a girl going through this, but before it used to be a chase type of thing. And later on, it used to be that I felt like it was a woman type of thing, insulting women. Now that I've grown and more mature, this is more of a, this is so not Sally's character type of thing. And I realize what's more important. does this make sense for Sally as a character? It's not. Alright, again, some men do crave it. Some women do. But not all, and not all. You have to sit down, think to yourself what makes more sense as a character. Sonic side, keep it up. Unlike me, I'm keeping it up. And you can go back to sleeping in your own bed. You know, guys, women do move in with guys. Sally frowned, but her eyes showed something else. Alright, I'll drop it for now. She disentangled herself from Sonic's embrace and slipped into her nightgown. Let me get to my hut before Sandra wakes up. See you later. Okay. Let me get this straight. No morning wood? You know, that thing that happens to you when you wake up in the morning? That doesn't ring a bell? Like, you know, no boing, none of that? Next thing you know, you're gonna write down that Sonic is not even masturbating afterwards. And don't try to say, well, she just left. No. Hot woman like that, you're telling me Sonic's not trying to let off a little steam? If you say yes, no. Sally walked to the door and opened it. Well, hello there, Sally girl! A tearful voice exclaimed. Well, sorry, Sally. Bunny walked to the hut, followed by Antoine, Sandra, and Tails. Let's see me you here this early in the morning. Hi, Bunny, everyone. Sally stammered, especially red in the face. What are you doing here this early? Have you forgotten? Antoine said calmly. You had asked us to meet in the one room before sunrise. And when I woke up and saw your bed hadn't been slept in, I got worried, Sandra explained. Sonic's usually the first one there, Tails began. When he didn't show up, we came over to see if he was all right and if he had seen you. Guess he has, in more ways than one. Now hold on, little bro, Sonic said, setting up. You got it all wrong. Ain't nothing going on here. Oh, come on, Sonic, Antoine said, smirking. You honestly expecting us to believe that there is a perfectly innocent reason why a princess is in the... Oh, okay, stop! 1. Antoine would expect that there was an innocent reason. 2. If he did not suspect that there was an innocent reason, Antoine should be more like this. You dare besmirch the princess's honor! Shh! You best better be telling me if you should restart the wedding! No one besmirches the fair princess's honor! Honor, Monsieur Sonic! 3. Antoine would also... 3. This dialogue is so not Antoine, it's not even funny. Do you remember who you're writing for right now, guys? This is... No! Just... No! This is about the same... This is like Fluttershy. You want to see how odd this conversation sounds like? Let me show you how weird it sounds. Are you honestly expecting us to believe that there's a perfectly innocent reason why our princess is in your hut, just in her nightgown while her bed has not been slept in? See? Total out of character here. Sally turned a deeper shade of red and even Sonic blushed. And I'm telling you, nothing's going on, Sonic protested. Only but something to play same old sugar hog, Bunny said, smiling. I've been trying to get in Antoine's bed almost since we got back together. Well, his sense of honor won't let anything happen until we're married. Okay. Antoine? Now, you see, again, here's a difference in character in how these different people would treat this scenario. Sonic, I would see, be more for it because of who he is. He's more of jump gun, who cares later type of person. Antoine would be the more character who would go, No. Not as if we were married. Type of person. Okay? Let me put it this way. There are some guys out there who are willing to jump at the first foray into bed with a woman. There are some guys who are willing to wait till they're married. I'm going to wait until I'm married, but if me and the girl on our fourth date and we're hot and bothered, they could go out the window pretty easily. Everything is perfectly valid. When discussing this type of thing, you need to sit back, think carefully about the character. Who is in their more personality to say, okay, let's wait? You need to sit back and approach this with a good mind about it. And think about which character is more likely to jump into bed and which character is not. I'm okay with Antoine saying no, but not Sonic. Heck, even some of this dialogue doesn't sound very similar. The same way, I'm perfectly okay with Bunny wanting to ride Antoine into the night because I have a feeling Bunny would realize, hey, war scenario, almost dead. Time to pop that cherry! Although, personally, sometimes I don't even think this would be thought about at all, and I'm not really seeing the problem here because of, one, they're practically already married anyway, so what's the difference? Two, they're still devoted to each other, so three, they're pretty dang close to having sex anyway, so, and four, it's just a slip of paper, guys. It's not that big of a difference. Tell me about it, Bunny, Sally said. Yes, I've been spending nights here with Sonic. Nights? Tails interrupted. Oh, Sally, how long has this been going on? About a month now, Sally answered. But all we've been doing is holding each other while we sleep. He refuses to let anything else happen, which I call bullshit. Everyone looked on at Sonic with some surprise. I must be commending you, Sonic, Antoine said. If I were in your situation, I doubt I'd be able to resist Bunny for a whole month. Yeah, Sonic, what's your secret? Cold showers! Lots of cold showers! I know, I couldn't resist Sandra that long, Tails admitted. Both Bunny and Sandra said, rubbing their chins. Tails and Antoine looked at the girls, looked at each other, then ran. Bunny and Sandra laughed as they ran away, screaming. But seriously, Sally, Sandra said, you should really think about this. Animals are starting to talk, and you know what rumors can do. Oh no! The almost married couple who would have been married already are sleeping in the same bed. Oh no! An unmarried couple has moved in together. Oh my god! An unmarried couple is sleeping in the same bed together and are in the same room and they love each other? Well, that just won't do. I mean, they should put a ring on it or something. Oh, wait, they already did. Well, maybe if they were married. Oh, wait, they were almost married already. Maybe they should have just dropped the whole interrupted marriage thing. It would have put on a whole lot of problems. Or, better yet, just let it happen. Nobody really cares. It's just, nobody really thinks about this type of thing, guys. Really, it's not as much of a problem as you think. Huh, Sally grumbled. I'll think about it. That's all I'll promise. Wait. You mean you didn't think about it the first thing? Okay, who are you when you were done with Sally? I guess it'll do, Sandra said. So, what are we searching for today? Can I take a shower first? Sally asked as the girls left Sonic alone. Sonic tuned out the conversation deep in thought. Man, I didn't realize animals were starting to talk about this. He thought, I gotta really think about whether or not this is all worth it. I can't imagine this is gonna happen. Hey, the princess is sleeping in Sonic's bed. So what? I sleep in my girlfriend's bed all the time. And we're expecting. Thank you very much. Oh. It wore a white cloak and carried a bundle on its back. Stopping, the figure looked around in confusion. Reaching under the cloak, it produced a small computer, roughly the size of Nicole and Nadia. Samantha, the figure said in a very dulcet voice as he opened the computer up. Project map to NATO. Projecting now, Lydia, the computer implied, displaying a holographic map of the Great Forest. A red dot indicated Naho's location, and a blue one showed her current location. Lydia closed Samantha up and replaced her under her cloak. I just hope she's there, she muttered, adjusting her bundle and wiping her brow. She set off, head bound in what might have been despair. Meanwhile, in Robotropolis, Metalsonic was busy taking the patrols head scattered all over Mobius to find the emeralds. Swap out Patrol 33! Status! He said to his communicator tiredly. Status normal, a robot droned back. Swap out Patrol 34! Status! No response. Metalsonic perked up considerably. Swap out Patrol 34! Status! He repeated. Still no response. Well, looks like I have a reason to wake up, fat boy, he thought. Robotnik laid in his bed, snoring loudly. I finally have you now, Hedgehog, he muttered in his sleep. Sorry, sir. Sorry to wake you, but there is something you should know, came Metalsonic's voice over the intercom. Robotnik woke to a start. Don't ever interrupt me while I'm sleeping, Robotnik roared. Sorry, sir, but I think you might want to know that one of the swap-out patrols you sent out to search for an emerald is not responding. Robotnik thought about that for a moment. Send another unit to their last confirmed coordinates, he said finally. It could have been anything that destroyed them. Keep me posted. As you wish, sir, Metalsonic began, but Robotnik clicked off as the intercom before he could finish. Grumbling, Metalsonic did as he was ordered. I'm almost hoping he loses the race, he thought darkly. On the floating island, Knuckles sat meditating in the Emerald Chamber. This was usually a very calm and peaceful time for Knuckles, one he enjoyed. But on this day, for the past few days, his meditations had been troubled by visions of unrest. There's a great disturbance among the emeralds, he thought, opening his eyes. I don't know how, but this could affect the entire race. He gazed across from pedestal to pedestal, stopping briefly on each, but eventually moving on. Finally, his eyes came to the rest on the pedestal that held the water emerald and stayed there. The vibrations I feel are coming from this emerald, he thought. Perhaps someone has found it without my knowledge. This could have dire consequences. Knuckles resumed his meditation and tried to home in on the vibrations of the water emerald. A picture soon found in his mind. Perhaps this is not as bad as I first thought, but he won't wait to find out. He expanded his awareness to fill the island and commanded to move. Back near Null, Dulcie and Rotor had just returned from a recon mission of the volcano that held the Fire Emerald. I'm glad to stay quiet, Rotor said. You did a good job to cool it off. It's hot enough without the volcano I dig up. Thanks, Rotor, Dulcie said, smiling. You know, my powers are getting stronger with each passing month. I must be growing up. You're only 12, Dulcie, Rotor remarked. So see how much you know. Dragon's will reach adulthood by about 14 or 15. Not like you slowpokes who wait till 18. It's not something we can control, Rotor began, but cut himself off. Hey, what's that by the bridge? Dulcie turned to look. A white-cloaked figure was approaching the bridge with faltering steps. Whatever it is, looks like it's in trouble, Dulcie said, slipping down. Easy, Dulcie, Rotor said. We don't know what it is. Might be a trap. Stop being a worrywart. Robotnik can't attack us unless it's over an emerald, remember? Still, I don't... Too late, Dulcie said, landing beside the figure. The figure warily turned her head toward Dulcie. A small scream of fear escaped her lips as she collapsed in a faint. There was a mixture of fear and exhaustion. Dulcie caught her before she fell, and eased her down to a sitting position. Ryder jumped off back and ran to the figure. "Let's get this cloak off her," Ryder said and placed Dulcie, pulling back the hood. Ryder stared wordlessly at the face of a female fox that appeared. Her fur was as white as her cloak, and her hair was a dark auburn. "Oh my God! Fiona, we found your mother!" The cloak fell back, showing what she was clad in a black t-shirt and shorts. "Again, Fiona, we found your mom." A small bushy tail twisted behind her, just slightly larger than Sally's. Her eyes opened momentarily, showing eyes as red as garnets. Dulcie guessed he was in her early 20s. "But the Almighty," Warner whispered. "It can't be her." I don't know, but she's a fox girl, and I have a thing for fox girls." Hubba hubba. "You also have a thing for Western ponies." True. Pony me loves Applejack. She's, of course, the pony of my dreams. But my Sonic Sona, my wolf incarnation, he has a thing for fox girls. Trixie sees. We need to have some talk. I should let you know when I'm in my elfin mode, I have a thing for a drow. Oh, who doesn't have a thing for drow? I'll explain later, Dulcie, Rora said, climbing on Dulcie's back. Right now, we gotta get her to Sally's hut. All right, Dulcie said doubtfully. She picked up the fox carefully and walked toward the war room. As he picked her up, Dulcie felt the bundle carrying squirm. What the heck? Get moving, Dulcie! All right. Robotnik drummed his fingers impatiently as he waited for the pair of SWAT bots Melsock had dispatched to reach their destination and report. What is taking them so long? He thundered. You did send them out in a hover ship, didn't you? Of course I did, Metalside snapped. How incompetent do you think I am? As incompetent as your creator, Robotnik said icily. One more remark like that, and I'll reprogram it to be a toaster. Nelside glared at Robotnik, but even the robot could not withstand the force of Robotnik's full stare and turned back to the console. SWAT bot patrol approaching your coordinates, he mumbled. Excellent. On screen. Nelside pushed a few buttons, and the view from the hover ship appeared on the main monitor. A beautiful lake appeared, its purplish red water shining in the mid-morning sun. But that was not what drew Metalsock's attention. By the source of the lake were two masses of crumpled metal that he could only assume used to be SWAT bots. Is this what you're looking for, sir? Robotnik peered at the masses of metal. Zoom in for a closer look, he said. As the picture grew larger, the expression of Robotnik's face grew more evil. Blast! How could this be? It looks like they were hit with a wall of water, Melsock observed. I know that, Robotnik yelled in frustration. Only the power of the water emerald could have done that. But who found it, and why wasn't I notified of this? I have no clue, Melsock said. Then what good are you? He yelled, backslapping the robot into the wall. He stormed from the room. Have all SWAT bots converge on the area and spread out. Look for any signs of that emerald. As you wish, sir, Melsock said, pulling himself from the wall. After Robotnik was out of sight, he muttered under his breath. If I didn't fear him so much, I'd sabotage the whole thing, but then I'd be sure to end up as a toaster. Lydia woke to darkness. She was in a strange bed in a strange place. She sat too quickly and was almost forced to lay down as a weight of nausea hit her. Easy, child, a soft voice said. You were in pretty bad condition when they brought you in. Perhaps a bit of water. Well, fuck you, Lydia said to the silhouetted form. A glass of water was pushed into her hand. She drank it greedily. Not so fast, the voice said, taking the glass. You'll make yourself sick again. Lydia sighed deeply and lay back down. Where am I? Among friends, princess. Lydia struggled to sit up, but firm hands held her down. You know who I am? She asked. Of course. How could I forget the girl who I babysat whenever she came to visit her cousin? Babysat? Rosie? She asked, not daring to believe. A window spread, and the sunlight illuminated Rosie's kind face. Yes, Lydia, I am here. But then, did I make it? Rosie walked to the door and opened it. See the lake. You can come on in. Lydia forced herself into a sitting position, struggling against the nausea that threatened to overwhelm her. You are always a bit stubborn, a soft voice said to her. Always doing your way. Lydia opened her eyes and looked at the source of the voice. A teenage squirrel and chipmunk sat next to her. Lydia only had to gaze at the red hair and soft blue eyes to know who it was. Sally! She exclaimed, hugging her close. Sally hugged her back. Good to see you, cousin. Cousin? I didn't know Sally had a cousin. Elias, did you know this? What? I have a new cousin? I need to go see her right away. Knuckles, get me out this island! Lydia pulled back and looked at the rest of those that had entered their hut. It's not you, Sonic, she said. Last time I saw you, you were just a small little kid. Now you're one handsome hedgehog. Hey, I still got my tune, Sonic said defensively. It's just that, well, love can change a hedgehog. He put his arm around Sally's shoulders, and Lydia noticed the ring Sally had on. I never thought I'd see the day, she murmured. She looked up and saw the wedding dress hung above the bed. What's the story with that? Our lives are kind of on hold for now, Sally answered. It's a bit of a long story, and something that didn't need to happen. Here today, Antoine, Benny. Not you. You two don't look just as I thought you would. I am hoping that is a compliment, Lydia, Antoine said carefully. Lydia looked at Antoine strangely. Did you used to have an annoying accent? I didn't cut the annoying little girl, Benny said, holding Antoine's head. I've been working with him to keep his help Spike bear. Oui, if it had not been for my lovely doll, I would still be quite misunderstood, Antoine said, putting his arms around Bunny's waist from behind. As Sonic said, love contains an animal, not just a hedgehog. He kissed her softly. Lydia almost choked. No way, you two? How close are you? Bunny smiled and leaned back against Antoine. Just as close as Sonic and Sally, girl. She moved her hand to let the diamond of her ring sparkle in the light. What about you, Rota? You aren't enough to cut this group of couples yet? Nah, Rota said, blushing a little. I'm too busy with my work stuff to even think about a relationship right now. Although there are a couple of guys out there that are cute. Besides, there's no one here who I'm even remotely interested in. What about you? You got anyone? Lydia's face saddened suddenly. Then I did, but... She cut off suddenly, looking around. She grabbed a bag on the floor and exited a bed and searched through it frantically. I know. Where's she? Where's who? Sally asked worriedly. Is this who you're looking for? Rosie asked, walking toward the bed. In her arms, she held the most adorable little cat anyone had ever seen. Okay. Hershey, can we talk about your family for a bit? The child was about 4 years old, with short blonde hair and blue eyes. She wore a gray dress and a pink ribbon in her hair that looked nicely against her fur. Oh no. Was as white as her mother's. Oh no. Lydia sighed in relief. Isabella! She cried gently, holding her arms out. The cat looked up from Rosie's arms. She yelled, leaping from Rosie's arms to Lydia's. Oh my god, it's back. Just when you thought you couldn't escape using it. It's the Dinky Voice. Goodbye, vocal cords. Mommy, Sally asked. You're a mother? Lydia nodded. Everyone, meet my daughter, Isabella. Isabella, meet everyone. Isabella turned her eyes to the group of animals standing near. She said softly, suddenly very shy. Everyone's heart just melted. Aww, they all said together. See how this affected animals? Lydia said, smiling. So, who's the lucky man who captured my cousin's heart? Sally said. Lydia sighed again, hugging Isabella close. He His name was Jonathan, she said sadly. Jonathan? Oh no. No. It just can't be a grunt fic. No. It's okay. He's a cat, not a mouse. We're fine. Oh, thank God. Lois, Bunny asked, "Look, is he Rabas ass or something?" Lydia shook her head. No, he was killed one day, protecting me from a patrol swap boss I had stumbled upon. I tried to tell him to run, but he refused to leave until I was safe. I found his body later that day. What the swap boss had left was nearly unrecognizable. We buried him almost 5 years ago, not even a month before we were about to be married. Before you got married? Sonic asked, then looking at Isabella, who had fallen asleep in her mother's arms. But then... Lydia smiled ruefully. We always thought we'd be together, so we didn't think we should wait for a wedding night. I never thought this would happen, but I don't regret it. I love Isabella, and looking at her reminds me of her father. She looked up a small, golden heart-shaped locket she wore around her neck and opened it. He was so handsome and brave and strong, but that's what ended up being his undoing. The two couples in the hut stared at each other awkwardly. We need to talk, they mouthed to each other, but Sonic and Sally were very insistent about it. Again, I know this is trying to set up the moral about waiting and all that, but guys, you're using one example here. That's like doing something that's dangerous and using only one example of a death to say, nope, can't do it. As I've always pointed out, one bad thing does not make it forever tainted. That's stupid. You don't think that. You're using one example. And again, I must continue to pull this out. If you guys were married, nothing would change. You would still be racing for the emeralds. You would still be devoted to each other. You would still be worried about each other. You would still care about each other. And you would still be thinking about each other desperately. Only now, if you were married and one of you died, you would still be missing a partner, only with a kid. Alright? It would still be the same thing. Let me put it this way. If Sonic messed up and Sally was pregnant before they were married, and he died during this race, she would still be heartbroken because her significant other died. If Sally was pregnant, and they were married, and Sonic died, Sally would lose her significant other, only now her significant other is her husband. There is no difference other than the definition. Nothing has changed. There is nothing different about the two scenarios. You're getting scared over the exact same thing, only with the W involved. And I just realized I probably am ticking off a lot of my viewers who believe in marriage before, who believe in sex after marriage. Sorry, guys. There's really nothing to talk about. Although, this does make me think of something. I'm gonna have to look it up. So what brings you to Nuthole? Brother asked, oblivious to the other's discomfort. That's the weird thing. See, I was... Incoming! Dulcie yelled, sticking her head through out the window. Lydia and Isabel screamed. A dragon! Lydia yelled, scrambling out of bed away from Dulcie. What's your problem? Dulcie asked, completely confused. Easy, Lydia, Sally said. Dulcie's on our side. Lydia looked at Dulcie uncertainly. If you say so, she said uncertainly. What's more, if you time it right, especially since you're animals. This might not even have to be a thing! What was that reaction? Sorry, about 2 months ago I was attacked by a dragon. We almost lost our lives. No way, Dulcie said. Dragons only fight evil. Everyone knows that. Dulcie, I've traveled the multiverse. That's not the case. Oh, God, that black dragon. It just want to touch me. He had dark black scales and a grey underbelly. His eyes were red, and 2 of the horns stuck out from the sides of his head. A black dragon? Here? Oh God, I need to get a dragon slaying bow. And he had these powers, like everything I've seen before. They were more than any protector I've ever known. Ring a bell, Dulce? Sonic asked. Dulcie had gone very pale. It can't be him. He died before I was born, she muttered. Hey, Dulcie Gale, Bunny said. You're looking mad pale. What's up? Dulcie shook her head. It's nothing. Anyway, Sandra and Tails are in the way. She pulled her head out of the window and took off like a shot. She was looking like she had seen a ghost, Antoine mentioned. Perhaps he was having something to do with that dragon, Lydia mentioned. Perhaps, Lydia agreed dutifully. Either way, who's Sandra and Tails? The door to the hut flew open in response to her question. Sandra scared to stop right in front of the bed Lydia was sleeping in, and Tails landed right beside her. Hey, who's sleeping in my bed, sis? Asked Sally. Sis? Lydia asked. Sally, you don't have a sister. Oh no, but I do have a brother. Cousin! And there he is. Oh, I haven't seen you in ages. Although, how weird is our family that not only are we a chipmunk and squirrel breed mix, but now we've got a fox cousin. I beg to differ, Sandra said haughtily. Oh boy, Tails muttered. Here we go again. I am Sandra, Princess Sandra of the House of Acorns, second in line to the throne of Mobius, Sandra said, displaying her ring. Lydia's eyes glittered in anger. I don't know who you are, kid, but I don't like your attitude. You could use an attitude just for yourself. Calm down, you two, Sally said, getting between them. Lydia, she is my sister, but it's a long story. Sandra, this is your cousin Lydia, from Urbantropolis. Princess Lydia, of the House of Evergreen, Lydia said haughtily, smirking at Sandra. Sandra's hands began to glow, but Tails stopped it with a hand on her shoulder. Easy, Sandra, he whispered. Sandra looked at Tails, then nodded. Let's hear your story, then, she said with a slight edge to her voice. Lydia smirked again. I just got done telling it to them. You first. This'll be fun, Sally thought. Sandra, she said aloud, humoring her. Fine, Sandra grumbled. So we walked over to Sally's bed and sat down. I guess the best place to start is the day I showed up here. Or rather, the Void sent me here. As Sandra was unfolding her story in Knothole, Robotnik sat fuming in Robotropolis. Haven't they found anything yet? He demanded. Nothing of importance, sir, Metal Sonic answered. Whatever did that to those swap-ons seems to have simply vanished. Perhaps when the reinforcements arrive, something will be discovered. Robotnik drummed his fingers against the arm of his chair. Pah! He said suddenly, almost causing Metal Sonic to jump. Prepare my ship. I'm going there personally. As you wish, Metal Sonic said. Mentally he added, you big pompous one bag. No wonder Sniffly couldn't stand you anymore. Back in Knothole, Lydia had just finished recounting her story to Sandra and Tails. Well, she said, not the one I created. What do you think? Sandra sat deep in thought. You told me your story, but you haven't said what brought you to Knothole after all this time. That is true, Lydia, Sally said. Why did you choose to seek us out? I was getting to that when I was interrupted, Lydia explained. But before I go there, I'd like to hear your story, she said, pointing at Tails. My story? Tails asked. I don't have much of one. Sonic found me when I was a baby and brought me back here. I've been here all 12 years of my life. 12? Lydia asked. You're not older than that. Oh wait, that's right, Sandra explained that. Is Tails your real name? Nope, Sandra said before Tails could. His name is Miles per Hour, but only I call him that. Sandra! Tails said, squirming. No fear. Sandra kissed him on his cheek. Take it easy, Miles. You know I only do this because I love you. This is a very lovely place, Lydia muttered, shaking her head. Enough stalling, Sandra said. Out with it. Why are you here? All right, already. Fact is, I had traveled to Bleeding Heart Lake. You know, the one where animals go to mourn their lost loved ones. I was performing the rite Jonathan had asked me to perform once a year for 5 years, and this was the 5th. How could this be the 5th if he hasn't been dead for 5 years yet? Sandra asked. Though 5 full years have not passed, this is the 5th year, Lydia explained. While I was there, I came across this odd-looking blue stone at the bottom of the lake. I dived in to get it. She pulled a dull blue stone from her bag. It was a lot brighter then. In fact, it almost seemed to glow. I brought it up to look at it when I saw 2 SWAT bots heading for Isabella. I was so scared for her, I didn't know what to do. Isabella raised her sleepy eyes towards her mother. I wasn't scared, Mommy, she said, yawning. I knew, Lydia said, hugging her. So what happened then? Sonic asked. Well, I felt an enormous power flow into me from the stone. Next thing I knew, a wave of water slammed into the SWAT pods, wrecking them completely. But Isabella wasn't harmed at all. More importantly, this stone had lost all its light. I heard rumors that you were still alive, so I came here, hoping you could tell me what happened, Sally. Everyone exchanged glances. May I see that stone? Sally asked. Sir, Lydia said, handing it over. Sally and Sonic stared intently at the stone. You thinking where I am, Sonic? Sally asked. If you're thinking that that's the water emerald, you bet, Sonic answered. Water emerald? Lydia asked. A chaos emerald? How? Perhaps I can explain, a new voice suggested. Lydia and the others looked at Knuckles as he came in through the door of the hut. He's not. Lydia asked. This is Knuckles, guardian of the emeralds, Sally asked. Well, explain it then. Knuckles smiled slightly. So impatient, he said. Yes, that is the water emerald. Apparently, Miss Evergreen has assaulted its powers for the time being. So that means we have an emerald? Sonic asked excitedly. Yes! Not so fast, said Sonic. Sonic and Knuckles admonished. Using an emerald's power and getting control of it are 2 very different things. She has use of its power, but as far as the race goes, you do not control any emerald. Are you not understanding this? Antoine said. How can she be using this, but not controlling it? Remember, a battle has to be fought over each emerald. No battle has been fought as of yet, so ownership cannot be claimed. Well, that explains the previous chapter of why Dulcie just couldn't grab the fire emerald. What about when she fought those SWAT butts? Sonic asked. That was to protect her daughter, not to gain control of the emerald. Of the 4 emeralds I have hidden, the battle must be over the emerald. Of the 3 Robotnik has to defend, you only needed to get out of Robotropolis with it. I guess I understand, Lydia said doubtfully. So what can we do about it? I cannot allow you to keep it, Knuckles said simply. You must return it to where you found it. Once you replace it in the waters of Bleeding Heart Lake, the power will automatically return to it, and the emeralds will return to me. I will hide it in an alternate spot, and the race will continue. Now that's not fair, Bunnies exclaimed. You mind if we stumble upon any of the emeralds without old Butnick there, we have to give it up and try to find it again? I don't make the rules, I merely enforce them, Knuckles said. Seems awfully arbitrary to me, Sally said. But you're right. We don't want to do anything to disrupt the race, not with what's at stake. Farewell, Knuckles said. Before anyone could do anything, he summoned a portal ring and disappeared. Haha. Does he always do that? Lydia demanded. Yep, Sonic said. So how are we getting there? I know the way, but it's a 2-day journey. Oh, darn it, and Knuckles was just there. He knows the way. You know, we do have laws about bad Sonic memes in this place. You're right. I set up every single gun, spell, and parts of my little brother's horde to kill somebody who brings out a bad Sonic meme. Did you forget? Sonic asked, smiling. I'm the fastest thing on Mobius. I don't know about that, Sonic, Sally said, smiling. Remember, I beat you in a race last year? Only because I hit a tree, Sonic retorted. Anyway, I did beat you in that chess game, and the wrestling. What are you talking about? Lydia demanded. Should we clue her in? Sonic asked. You better, Lydia said. If someone doesn't start talking, you'll have to drag me kicking and screaming to Bleeding Hawk Lake. I'll tell you on the way, Sally said. You ride Dulcie, and I'll fly next to her and explain everything. I don't know, Lydia began, then looked at Sally strangely. Fly? Sally sighed. I keep forgetting. We take so much for granted here. Trust me, everything will be explained by the time we get there. Lydia looked down at the sleeping child. But what do I do about her? I don't want her to go back there. I'll watch her, Rosie offered. I'm not up to traveling anyway. It's decided then, Sally said. We'll leave right after lunch. But before we go, I have a feeling Daddy will be glad to see you. My uncle is here, Lydia asked. That's right, Sandra explained that too. He's not here, but I'll take you to him. It's another long story. Robotnik stepped from his hovership as he slid down from the lake. Is there anything to report? He demanded from the two SWAT bots there. Nothing, sir, the SWAT bots droned. Robotnik cursed under his breath. Keep looking, he ordered. The SWAT bot saluted and walked off. Sir, Metal Sonic said, I think I may have found something. It better be good, Robotnik muttered, walking over to the robot. Metal Sonic was on his knees, pointing an indentation at the bottom of the lake. Looks like about the size of a Chaos Emerald, he said. So it does, Robotnik agreed. Set up a base of operations and report anything that happens to me. As you wish, sir. Oh, and Metal Sonic, I suggest you keep that snide attitude out of your voice. It annoyed me to no end when Snively used it. I don't need to hear it from you. Very well, Metal Sonic said, watching as Robotnik walked off. Lydia clutched her seat, eyes closed against the expansive air that was beneath her and Dulcie. I don't know why I let you talk me into this. Oh, come on, Lydia, Sally said, flying next to Dulcie. Flying is a glorious feeling. Easy for you to decide. Just relax, Dulcie said. Leave the flying to me. No problem there. Oh, relax, Lydia, Bunny said behind her on Dulcie's other seat. There's nothing to it once you get used to it. Oui, Antoine said from next to Bunny. I used to be afraid of flying, but there's nothing I cannot handle with Bunny by my side. You know what's funny about this? Some blogger is convinced that Antoine trained Tails to fly. And now that I think about it, seeing how many times Antoine has actually piloted something, I'm kind of tempted to believe him. This would be kind of cool, actually. Honey opened her eyes and looked back at us, the two snuggled. She opened her locket and stared at the picture. I miss you too so much, Jonathan, she whispered. Sighing, she closed it up and did her best to forget about her fear. Sonic and Sandra ran below Dulcie, and the others with Tails flying close to each other. I wonder what they're talking about, Sonic said. Probably just catching up, Tails said. I mean, they haven't seen each other since before I was born. True, Sonic admitted. What do you think, Sandra? Huh? Sandra said, pulled from her thoughts. What's getting you so down? Tails asked playfully. Huh? Oh, nothing, Sandra said evasively. Sonic, do you think you can run up ahead? Tails asked. I think Sandra and I have to talk. Sure thing, little bro, Sonic said, speeding up. But you guys at the lake! Okay, Sandra, we're alone. Now talk. Nothing to talk about, Miles, Sandra said, but she didn't sound unconvincing. I know that tone of voice. Now answer me. What's bothering you? It's nothing, really. Anyway, I shouldn't be feeling like this. Like what? Sandra sighed. Alright, I'll say it. But promise me not to let anyone know. Why are you saying that? You know I won't kiss and tell. But we aren't... Sandra began, before getting cut off by Tails' mid-flight kiss. There now, he said, smiling. I kiss, so you tell. Sandra smirked. It's about Lydia, she said reluctantly. I know I should be glad she's here, but I'm afraid that Sally and I won't be as close with her here. Tails bonked Sandra in the head. Ow! She yelled, holding her head. What do you do that for? Because you're being stupid, Tails said. You and Sally are sisters. Lydia being here isn't going to change that. Think about it for a second. Lydia and Sally are blood related. They know each other all their lives. Me? I just dropped in on Sally's doorstep last year. Big difference. Maybe, but you've been here the past year. Lydia's not. You helped her get her father back, not to mention keep me going. That's not all going to go away. I guess, Sandra said doubtfully. But if she had any further doubts, she kept them to herself. Tails gave her a reassuring hug, and he sped up to try to catch Sonic. Just as both of them, Dulcie went into a power dive and crashed into a nearby trees. What happened? Sandra asked Tails. I don't know, but we gotta get there and find out. Tails grabbed onto Sandra's waist, just as she activated her power bracelet. But before she could take off, a pair of hands grabbed her and pulled her to the other brush. What the? She demanded before a hand crossed across her mouth. Sandra, easy, Sally said softly, letting go of Sandra's mouth. Sally? What the hell's going on? Robotnik's at the lake, Sally explained. Looks like he figured out the wire emerald was supposed to be here. There's SWAT bots crawling around the area as far as Nicole could scan. So what are we going to do about it? Tails asked. I don't know, little bro, Sonic admitted. Well, we better think of something soon. SWAT bots won't react to us anymore, so it's useless to try to draw them off, Sally said. They only got one purpose here, to find the emerald. Well, if we can make them think one of us has it, Lydia could sneak to the lake and replace the emerald, Tails suggested. Too risky, Sally said. And if they realize she has it, she'll be a sitting duck. Antoine and Bunny were whispering amongst themselves animatedly. Hey, what are you two going to let us in on it? Lydia asked. I have a thought, Antoine said, but you will not say anything until I am sure. But Sugar Twain's right. We might have underestimated Knuckles, Bunny said. Well, since no one else has any options, I say we do it Tails this way, Lydia said. I can take care of myself, she added, seeing Sally's look of concern. If there's no other way, Sally said reluctantly. Sonic, you and Bunny and Antoine are in charge of the distraction. The rest of us will be here in case Lydia needs any help. Spread out and signal when you are in position. Everyone bumped hands and the freedom fire fastened and spread out. I thought that was our secret handshake, Lydia whispered to Sally when they were in position. We needed something to hold us together, to make us feel like a group, Sally explained. Lydia nodded and tensed into a crouch. She saw Sonic wave and wave back. Sally waved too. Here goes nothing. Sonic picked up a small blue stone that was fakely shaped like the emerald. Yo, Robotnik! He yelled, tossing the stone up and down. Looking for this? Robotnik whirled to face Sonic. The Hedgehog! Robotnik yelled. He has the emerald. All SWAT bots, get that emerald! Now, Lydia, Sally whispered as they all went after Sonic. Lydia headed for the lake, creeping low to the ground. Hey, Ant! Cats! Sonic yelled, tossing the stone to Antoine. Over here, you stupid butts! Antoine said casually, making the stone dance in the back of his hand. As they came near, he flipped the stone to Bunny. Bunny grabbed at the stone, but nearly dropped it. As he picked up, Sonic trained a laser rifle on her. Antoine saw him run toward Bunny, placing himself in the laser's path. Lydia, who was halfway to the pool, froze. She watched the scene as if in slow motion. But it wasn't this scene she was watching, but the one that happened 5 years ago. She saw Jonathan pushing her out of the way and telling her to run. She saw herself bending over his body and pleading him to get up, but she knew he couldn't. And now, it was happening again. Anger filled every part of Lydia's being. That anger rose. She felt power rise within her. She pointed toward the lake, then at Metal Sonic. A huge wall of wire rose from the lake, bearing down on Metal Sonic just as he fired. The wire slammed into the robot, knocking him into a nearby tree, but the shot was clearly on his way. Antoine blocked the shot with a parcel of his right arm, bouncing away some of the beam. The rest of it hit him in the chest, knocking him back down. Antoine! Bunny screamed, racing to his side. She cradled his head in her lap. Oh, God. Not again. Antoine's in a coma. I'm sorry. Bunny's life is pain. Sir Twain, please be alright, as he pleaded, rubbing his chest and arm. Antoine managed a smile. I'm not so bad, he said. It is just a fish wound. Meanwhile, everyone else turned to look at Lydia, who was glowing with a strange bluish light. She has the emerald! Get her! Get moving! Sally yelled, coming out from behind the others. The freedom fighters closed in on Lydia to protect her, but noticed something odd. The swap bots were being thrown into the water from behind. I think they made Bunny mad, Sally said, smiling. How could one animal do all that? Lydia asked, her voice deeper than usual. Just watch, Sally said. I think I'll help her, Sandra said, sending a few crystals at the swap bots. Nice trick, Lydia commented. Bunny soon came into view, and now Lydia could see why. Clipped arms and legs were robotic, as he was using them to tear into the swap bots furiously. Another long story? Lydia asked. Everyone nodded as Bunny finished up. Have you forgotten me? Robotnik asked, with a rifle against Antoine's head. Surrender the fox now, or this coyote gets it. No! Bunny yelled. He took a step forward, but Robotnik applied a little pressure to the finger. It would be a shame if my finger were to slip, he said with a sinister smile. Just then, a crystal came flying at Robotnik, slicing to the flesh on the back of his hand. Robotnik screamed in pain, dropping the rifle. Antoine took the opportunity to get up. A clothesline Robotnik goes robotic up her arm, knocking him unconscious. Let's finish him, Lydia yelled, pushing by the others and fancying on Robotnik. Knuckles suddenly appeared in front of her. I'm afraid I cannot allow that, he said. What? This battle is yours. Take the water emerald and go. He tested the emerald in Lydia's hand, and the blue light that surrounded her coalesced around the emerald. You mean you set us up? Sally demanded. You knew Robotnik was here? Remember, Princess, I do what is necessary to advance the race. Without another word, Knuckles disappeared in a swirl of wind, where Robotnik and Metal Sonic toe. It is that as I expected, Antoine said, sinking back down to the ground, holding his chest. It is not making sense that he could not defect the emeralds, seeing that he is the Guardian. There had to be some, what is word, ulterior motive for these actions. Take it easy, Sir Twine, Bunny said, changing her arms and legs back to normal, replacing her ring. She picked him up and lowered him to Dulcie's pouch. Let you meet you back in that hole, she yelled as Dulcie took off. All right, Sonic said, pumping his fist in the air. We got one! You have a remarkable talent for stating the obvious, Sonic Hedgehog. Sally said with a smile. Sonic took her in his arms. You mean like saying you're the most beautiful fiction this universe has ever seen? Sally blushed a bright red. You'll get yours tonight, Sally said. Then she remembered something. Her face grew shy as he pulled away from him. Sonic noticed the change. He began, clearing his throat. Let's get back to the hole. Can you guys go ahead? Sandra asked. I'd like to talk to Sally. Sure thing, Sandra, Tails said knowingly. Come on, Sonic. Last one back makes the winner play chili dogs. You got it, little bro, Sonic said, rubbing his feet. Come here, Lydia. Nah, I think I'll go with my cousins, she said, slight emphasis on the word cousins. Sonic and Tails nodded and took off, one running, one flying. Let's go, Sally said, rubbing her feet. Sandra did the same. Lydia grabbed Sally's waist and they took off, albeit at a slower pace than the boys. So, Sandra, you got me here. Talk. Sandra looked at Lydia and blushed a bit. Oh, actually, sis, it sort of involves her. Me? Lydia asked. What did I do? It's not so much what you did, just you being here. I don't get it, Sally and Lydia said together. I know I shouldn't feel like this, but I keep thinking we won't be as close with her here, Sally, Sandra said, looking at her feet as they ran. Sally ran closer to Sandra and bumped her on the head with a fist. Ow! Why did you do that? Because you're being dumb, Sally said. You're my sister. Nothing can ever take your place. I know. It's just how I feel, okay? I understand, Lydia said. It's only natural to feel like that. But don't worry. I won't take your place. But I'd like to join the group. Does that mean you'll be staying? Sally asked hopefully. Of course. Then again, I have nowhere else to go. The group I was with got cops under the law, so I still thought they kicked me out. They kicked you out? Sutter asked. Why? Because of Isabella, Lydia said sadly. They said I brought shame to my family's name, having her out of wedlock. We apologize, but it seems that Legend has finally lost it and just bashed its head against the wall, so Turk's really taking over. But they don't care. I love my daughter with all my heart. Every time I look at her, I see her father. I don't regret having her for 1 second. We could build you a hut, Sally said, after a moment. Besides, it'll give us a reason to build Bunny her dojo. She's been on us for the past couple of months to do so. There was some laughter at that, but the scene strains the forest. The rest of the trip passed in silence, but it was apparent to each that the other two had a lot on her mind. Oh, my head. Okay. Lydia, I can understand why some people would think you brought shame like that. I really do. But may I remind you of something? You're the princess! You could easily tell them to fuck off. Thank you. That night, 6 animals gathered in Bunny's hut on a very important matter. Yo, while we're here, Bunny said, we got to seize the mic. Hey, do we have to do this? After a lame-ass beginning, this fic picked up. Alright, I was enjoying the Lydia part. I was enjoying the Isabella segment. But do we have to do this? Because I'm really not enjoying this. Alright, this part is stupid. I've already explained why it's stupid. Should Sandra and I be here? Tails asked. I mean, we're too young to think about this anyway. Chronologically, yes. Sally said, but not physically. If you're not careful, your bodies may make the decision for you. And you're not? Guys, I've brought this up multiple times. You are teenagers. You are hormonal. Teenagers have sex. Adults have sex. Sex is an emotional thing. Are you really telling me that at one point, making out, you guys are not sure you're not going to lose control? I got one thing to say, Sonic said, no trace of attitude in his voice. After what you told me about what happened to your cousin, I don't want that happening to you. Okay, here's the reasons why it won't work. 1. Sally is the princess. She can tell them to all fuck off, or she'll leave them in Robotropolis. 2. Sonic is the big hero of the group. If they get mad at Sonic, they're going to have problems. Because Sonic is the main one who actually keeps their asses alive. So he leaves, they're all dead. Number 3. You guys would be sleeping in each other's bedrooms anyway. I don't see much of a difference. Number 5. If you guys were only married, this wouldn't matter. Number 6. Are the fussy buzzy idiots who think that a piece of paper is the only excuse you need to have sex. Not to mention, I have a feeling that they're also the same type of idiots who think that the only reason why you need to have sex is for procreation. To that I say, I am so sorry for your loved ones. A lot. I mean, I know we haven't done anything yet, but why take any chances? Sonic is right, princess. If you keep this up, sooner or later, you'll not be able to control yourselves. That's true, Antoine. Can I just ask with another problem with all this? Are you telling me that you guys really don't know about birth control? Like, you guys do realize that there are ways you can still have sex and not worry about having kids, right? Like, you guys do know this. This is why I said Sally should be the one to have a serious talk. Because Sonic would be all for it because he's Sonic. He'd think it would be fun. He would think sex is a fun thing to have with somebody you care about, like Sally. Sally would talk about the problems, the worries about getting pregnant, and all that. The next part of discussion would be possible birth control. Now, one method that I could see Sonic doing, the pull-out method. He feels something coming up, pop! It's very effective, and I have a feeling Sonic could do it. There's also Sally doing the time method. All she needs to do is program Nicole with the ability to time of her season, so to make sure her heat is regular, so then they can have an easy day. Now, I know there's no such thing, but that's not really effective. Now, there's also condoms and IUDs, but those aren't always effective, and sometimes there's a risk. There's a tiny risk, but then again, I have no idea what Rotor could whip up. I mean, Rotor could whip up a condom, but that all depends on, the different tech it could salvage, so I wouldn't see that as effective. Now, what I could see Rotor making is a birth control pill, or, other little items such as that. Just get Sally in there, maybe have Tannis available, and boom, have a little conversation, have Rotor run some tests, have Uncle Chuck run some tests, boom, done. You got instant birth control. Now, a personal favorite of mine is outer course, where, you have sex with each other that doesn't involve penetration. I know what you're thinking. I know you're shocked at this, but to all of you people in the back, sex is not just penetration! Let me repeat this. Let me repeat this to you animals. Sex is not only penetration. You can do other things while having sex. That's why it's called making love. You can have mutual Can I get away with the M word on this channel? Trixie would say, but you know how she feels about sex. Plop! Marshall Bravestar, what do you think that YouTube would feel? Well, you won't get monetized for this. Well, my audience is full of adults. They probably know what the M word is. But, in case you don't know, waxing your carrot, kissing, massaging, using toys, dry humping, talking about your fantasies. You could have, Sonic could, have a delicious meal with Sally. Sally could return the response. They could have mutual waxing of the carrot and playing with the bean. Or Sonic could just dry hump. Or, Sonic and Sally could have, petting and other sexual things that go on between two lovers. And then, after Sonic gets Sally off, Sally can return the favor with a little hand job. This is really not a problem, people. There are plenty of ways that birth control can work and you can still have sex. Or, now, work with me on this because I just came up with this not too recently, but you guys, you're in a world of magic. I have surprised that nobody in any MLP fanfic I've ever read when it comes to a clothfic has never, ever had Twilight, before she fucks Flash Sentry, go, like Flash, before we go at it, There you go, birth control spell. I mean, come on, fanfic writers. You're telling me you never thought of that? I mean, Sailor Moon does it a lot. No, I'm serious. A lot of Sailor Moon lemons, mainly the bad ones, had this weird idea that the Gwen Shisho could be used as protection. I know of one that has Yusagi and Mamo-chan going out in one of the dream worlds, and Yusagi decides, okay, ding, there, Gwen Shisho activated. Now we can go out as much as you want. I mean, how does he even come up with that? I don't want to know. But still, magic, guys. I know that if my players had sex, if I were to ever do a DM session, and we had a talk, and one of the players was worried about their character getting pregnant, I would tell them, you could have a cleric use a purity spell. Now I could either make up a birth control spell, which would be just one weird cleric spell that nobody else would, or I could tell them that the paladin can use a purity spell, which will actually use that to protect them from getting pregnant. It would make their bodies pure as they proceed to go at it. But you see, there's a reason why this is a non-issue. Because if you know much about sex, then you know there are plenty of other ways you can show off how much you love each other that doesn't involve penetrating each other. Hell, so I could have fun with a dildo with Sally. You people know this, right? Does birth control not exist on Mobius or something? And you get this up, sooner or later, you'll not be able to control yourselves. Yeah, that's not happening. You saw that as soon as Sonic was emotionally despondent, they were this close to fucking right on that machine, so they'll try it. That's true, Antoine, Sally admitted. But keep thinking back to Lydia said. Isabella is the only thing she has of her love. If something were to happen to Sonic, I want to know that he lived on in our child. And I got an answer for this. And I got an answer for that. If something did happen to me, everyone would look to you to lead them. They look to her to lead them anyway! If you do have a kid, what's to say the same thing won't happen to you that did happen to your cousin? She's the princess of one city. You're the princess of all Mobius. I repeat. Sally, Sandra, the entire conference, no, it ain't gonna happen. Alright, I don't know what happened to Isabella's group and why they were so stupid, but I don't see this happening to Sally. And besides, Sally should be saying this. I repeat, it's not so much anymore that it's a woman doing this as it was when I was a kid. I mean, back when I was a kid, I had problems with this being a woman who was doing this. Now, my problem is more of a character thing. This would fall more with Sonic. Sally should be having this conversation. And whatever way this race turns out, the choice will probably be made for us. Say we put all our energy into winning this race, then go from there. So like you were before? Seems like the best thing, Sandra agreed. Say we do that. All in favor? 5 hands went up immediately. That's unanimous. Let's all get some sleep. At our own beds, she said, smiling. Everyone said their good nights and left, though a bit sadder than others. Later that night, as most of the animals slept soundly, Sonic and Sally lay staring at the ceilings of their respective huts. They had been tossing and turning since they went to bed, but sleep eluded them both. Finally, they each happened upon the right position to drift off to sleep. Not so simple, really. All it took to get to sleep was a pillow, but not under the head. What was needed in their arms, they could hug, and so much that they hugged and loved and sleeping every night for the past month. Again, you see the problem here. You're telling me you guys are like, oh, I need him. And you were holding back this much? No, just no. This whole entire thing shouldn't even be an issue, and it's bringing down the rest of these last 2 episodes. The rest has been fine. It's been great. It's just that I wonder what inspired the authors to even throw this in, because it's not an issue that really should have been. They were so wanting this to be an issue, they just let them get married. And if they wanted the marriage to be a finale, then they could have had Sally and Sonic have a separate date for it or something. Or at the very least, point us the reasons for why Sally's acting like this.